Actually, it only seems that it's easy simply to move your legs to run faster. You won't be fast without a technique. Marta is all talent and hard work, while Vanya is a lot of training and persistence. If you see speed skating athletes for the first time, you might get the feeling that these are skaters who train with rollers in summer. In fact, skating athletes use rollers during summer training, but speed skating is a separate discipline. Athletes have to complete track or road distances with special skates.
Не начиная свою карьеру как тренера
I began my career as a coach of speed skating, but then switched easily to rollers because rollers were part of training with skates, and the training method was similar. The one thing that was different was the frame. The rollers became a separate type of sport. They took from many disciplines, as something was taken from short track, something from cycling, speed skating, but everything changed, and the technique and equipment have been transformed. Children in Ukraine recently began speed skating from the age of 10. Back then, training bases didn't have special equipment for younger athletes. This sport then began to develop rapidly, and the necessary financial base appeared, which enabled children to attend from the age of 2, thanks to enthusiasts and driven coaches. The equipment of speed skaters differs a little from equipment in roller skating, but the major distinction is roller skates. The boots, frame and wheels are different in that they're ordinary rollers like this, while our skates are like these. They're a lot lower and lighter, maybe by 2 kilograms. It is easier to skate with them on when you're skating long distances and quicker. The frame is longer, so bigger wheels can be set, so the rollers and other parts would be bigger and longer. On one occasion, Ivan asked his parents to give him these rollers as a New Year present. And that is when his story as a speed skater began. Ivan and his sisters Marta and Mira all grew up in a family of athletes. The parents focused on the sport and development of their children from early childhood and believed that this is an essential part for their proper development. When I gave birth to my son, we began to attend baby swimming, therapeutic exercises, dynamic exercises. And there was a moment when I thought that a kid will need something different as he grows up. So we began going to roller skating at the age of 20 months. I have a special education in physiology, rehabilitation, recreation, and roller skating is a complex type of sport for coordination. You develop gradually, and it has good cardio.
И тут хорошая кардионагрузка. Изначально детям всегда предлагалось несколько вариантов выбора.
Initially, you have to give children a choice. Vanya could choose between swimming, as he'd trained for a long time, and skating. Marta has a variety of options, all genres of dance. When she was just 4, she said to me, "I won't attend your hip-hop classes. I will only train to roller skate." She skated beautifully for a long time. Ruslan, was it graceful? He said it was magical.
Руслан Алексеевич, я красиво проехала. Он говорит, волшебно.
All 3 of them, including the youngest, Mira, practiced speed skating. Vanya discovered this sport, and he wanted to try his hand at it. I was practicing different sports at the beginning, also on rollers, but I just skated on the checks and did various tricks. It wasn't a speed run, but we had a speed track the next floor up, and kids there practice speed skating. I'd always wanted to try it and asked mom and dad to buy me some skates for New Year, racing ones. At first, they said no way, no. But then they saw how much I want this and moved me to this sport. They asked what the point of it was. So you just skate in a circle and nothing else. But then it turned out you have to analyze and think a lot over this distance.
Марта практически сразу пришла за Ваней, но она...
Marta immediately followed the example of Vanya, but at the age of 2.5, she's a developed girl with lots of potential and an array of talents. Marta can do a lot of things that children of the same age can't. Marta is a mixture of talent and hard work. Vanya relies on training and persistence as he gets results through his patience.
Ваня — это много тренировок, упорства. Он как бы зарабатывает именно своим упорством.
In fact, it only seems that speed skating needs speed. An athlete has to choose a specific strategy during competition on large distances. And this can change according to the conditions and situation, so speed is rarely an indication of victory. The technique is important, and you have to think about what you're going to do. Marta doesn't skate over long distances, where you have to calculate your every move. But you have to run forward. There are some distances like 3 kilometers to a point, and you have to gather more points than the others. You'll get tired if you run first all the time. And there is elimination, the last lap where someone will be eliminated. The last one or two will be eliminated. You have to think there too. I know what I have to do, but there is Ruslan standing nearby and shouting to me what I should do. There will be no result without technique. You won't outrun anyone, and you have to be strong, because if you're weak, then the technique won't save you. Young speed skaters experience difficulties at the start of their careers. First and foremost, an athlete has to maintain physical fitness all the time. It is an advantage rather than an inconvenience. Secondly, everything depends on the weather. And thirdly, many competitions are closed for speed skaters.
Ваня у нас как бы он немножко старше, и у него в этом году уже как бы первый год.
Vanya is a little older, and this year would be the first one to compete in the adult category at the European Cup.
Решили так по детям, что мы начнем с Кубков Европы восточноевропейских. Может быть, захватим какие-то более сильные соревнования.
We decided that we will begin with the European Cup, Eastern European, and perhaps enter tougher competitions. In tougher competitions, it is hard because all of Europe begins them a bit earlier, and they have different environment for training because France, Italy, and other countries have special closed tracks. And when we move for first competitions that are held for advanced athletes, they're the best ones and much harder for us.
Которые проводятся для наиболее сильных. Для нас они первые и очень сложные.
Ivan recently experienced a momentous occasion when he won a gold medal at a prestigious competition in the Czech Republic. Vanya performed confidently on the track and left his elder competitors behind. It was the second international level contest that I had taken part in. I had earlier been in Geisingen, Germany. This competition is regarded the toughest, and I got 10th place. Then I participated in the European Cup, and it was a bit easier, but it was still a tough competition. A boy who was 1 year older, and he was constantly winning first place, and I managed to keep up with him and won my category as a result. At the same competition, Vanya's sister Marta performed in her age category. The youngest member of the Ukrainian delegation, the 7-year-old athlete, took second place in the 100 meters tournament and first place in the mass start at a distance of 500 meters. It enabled her to get a second rank in category children and receive a silver medal. It was difficult for me at the European Cup in Ostrava, Czech Republic. I got second place and lost to a much stronger girl. She's not skilled at sprinting, and that is why she ran small distances all the time. And she wanted skating small distances. When Marta skated 2 laps, she won. They say Marta's technique is good. She's a goal-oriented and talented girl. For instance, something that my Ivan has to train until he gets it right, Marta does easily at the first attempt.
Поэтому в сферу того, что оно ей заходит за раз, плюс тренировки.
Plus she trains, and that is why she wins.
Вот только так.
Она уже бегает как взрослый спортсмен, который...
She runs like an adult athlete who has some skills, has good positioning of the feet, skillful performance of roller skating exercises, which enable her to compete against children 2 years older than her.
конкурировать с детьми на 2 года старше.
Наверное, сейчас уже Марта переживает, потому что уже приходит сознательный возраст. Сын, конечно, переживает, потому что был момент у нас...
I think Marta is worried now. After all, she's growing up. While my son is worried because there was a time when we stopped getting first place, then we came in second, and then third. In fact, in this year's winter season, we came third, and he somehow pulled himself together, focused his efforts, and won the European Cup in summer. I think he took top spot. It is one of those serious victories for his age.
Серьезных побед для его возраста.
У меня недавно был спад, и очень было тяжело, потому что я не мог сидеть даже за
I
тем.
recently suffered a dip, and it was hard because I could not catch up with those who were less skilled than me. I simply didn't have the strength. It was tough, and I was angry. This lasted a long time. I was in this state of lacking strength for over 6 months. My energy came back after Germany. So I have strength now, and I am in good shape.
В хорошей форме.
The parents always support their children, either by being close at competitions or watching them at home. As former athletes, they understand that it's best not to interfere in the work of the coach, but better to support the children when necessary.
Кто-то ставит цели, чтобы ребенок чего-то добился. Я скорее это делаю для того, чтобы ребенок понял, что есть разные возможности.
Someone sets the goal for their children to achieve something. I do this in the main to give them a chance to see how much there is in life. English, sports, German, programming. This is life, not simply gadgets, playing football outdoors, or, God forbid, smoking in back streets. I played sports and feel that I know what to say to encourage my kids. You cannot always rush them. Sometimes you have to take a step back. But parents are different.
Надо отступить, наверное. Ну, родители разные.
У нас получается, что многие родители...
It so happens that many parents who bring their kids here try to compensate for something that they didn't accomplish, and they like sports and want their children to practice them. But sometimes they want this as quickly as possible, and the ambitions of parents are way too high. Children need patience. Each child has his or her specific level of opening up and making progress.
У детей надо просто ждать, у каждого есть своя какая-то планка, когда он раскрывается.
Young speed skaters Ivan and Marta Ivchatovs are not just focused on sports. They have their own interests and hobbies. Marta likes to draw and sculpt, while Ivan is studying programming. Both are straight-A students and are studying several languages.
Опять же таки, мы говорим про всестороннее развитие ребенка. Нельзя...
The issue here is the diverse development of a child. These sports have to be a complementary activity. Sport is akin to switching one's psycho-emotional state in the sense that a child can be tired. While in sports, they train their body and relax from studies. Therefore, sport is a component of a child's all-around development.
Поэтому, спорт – это как составляющая всестороннего развития ребенка.
Loving, appreciating, and understanding children is important for their development. The family of our heroes gives them a warm, friendly environment. The adults respect the interests and position of the children, and this is mutual. Daring and talented, bold and restless, independent and happy. They're our future, the future of Ukraine.